This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Make your kitchen ready for every summer gathering this Memorial Day with LG and Lowe's. Our exclusive InstaView appliance suite includes ranges with air fry, refrigerators with slow-melting craft ice, and an exclusive dishwasher you can only find at Lowe's. Plus, you'll get up to 10% back via a MasterCard prepaid card when you bundle eligible LG products via rebate. Shop Memorial Day savings at Lowe's. Offer valid 3/3 through 5/18 on select LG items only. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details and timing.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. And we still got those turtle shirts in the rock shop. What are you doing? We had a deal.
Ride the turtle.
We had a deal. You're supposed to buy these, so I don't have to talk about this anymore.
That's right.
I'm not happy about this.
More turtle shirts for everybody. And thanks to all the Rockaholics that have been buying them. A ton have been purchased, and they're all posting it on their social media pages and tagging BJ Shea, which is the right thing to do.
Don't do that. I mean, I want you to buy them, but don't buy them and post them. Can't we just, do like they do when the wrong team wins the Super Bowl, and the other team they had printed up? Can't we just send the turtle shirts to another country?
So
to
you
some
can buy them all and then send them to someone else if you want.
I may have to. It's a great looking shirt, isn't it? All of us in the cartoon form riding turtles. Yeah. No turtles were harmed in the production of this T-shirt, by the way. That's an important thing. Only my dignity was harmed in the production of this T-shirt. Get your turtle shirt today. Go to KISW.com.
Let's play Beat Mix. It's time to play the game. Yeah. Somebody scream his name. Beat Mix. Don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Mix. You're a loser.
It is time to beat Mix. And it is Whackin' Wednesday, but you're going to get a whacking from a Kraken today. We are celebrating the Kraken.
Release the Kraken.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying my best, BJ, to stay focused, but every time I go to a break, I check Twitter to see some of the hockey guys that I follow, and they're putting out more and more sources are saying this person signed and that person signed.
Oh boy!
And I keep getting more and more pumped.
I walked in and Steve was literally I walk in, it's completely quiet in here, and then suddenly you hear yes, and Steve just like fist bumps and fist pumps. He's just like yes.
I felt like grandma just walked in on me on an embarrassing moment. I legit had a happy moment. BJ.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, so you're one of the rumored players you're really happy we're getting.
Yes, all of them. There's rumors of, we mentioned earlier, of Adam Larson signing, who's a great defenseman. Then there's another defenseman. Rumor has it that he's in talks with signing from Dallas. It's a big boy, a guy that was willing to fight Chara back when Chara was the scary dude on the Boston Bruins.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Jamie Alexiak, who's 6'7", just a beast.
God.
Yeah, dude. So if we got him from Dallas, that's awesome. And the latest report says that it looks like it's going to be Chris Driedger, who I think has already signed with the Kraken, or at least has signed his paperwork to be our goalie. And then there's another goalie that I've been kind of nerding out about last night, which is Vanacek from Washington. It looks like he's going to be the other goalie that Seattle's going to grab. And then a guy I don't know much about from Ottawa, Joey Dackert or Decord, but he's a young goalie, so that's always a good thing.
Okay.
It just keeps getting more and more awesome. Honestly, I'm not going to second guess anything. I'm just excited that there's going to be players on our team.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, exactly.
Ron Francis clearly knows a little bit more than the rest of us.
Yeah.
And I love this because for Beat Migs, this means that Steve is just not even there. If you listened earlier today.
I already won.
No.
Well, we still have to play this game, and we got TJ and Tacoma to take you on. TJ, are you there?
Yep.
All right, Steve, get out of here. Goodbye. For those playing at home, TJ will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. TJ, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yep.
What kind of animal is Filbert in the animated show Rocko's Modern Life?
Dog, cat, fox.
No. What group released the landmark 1966 album Pet Sounds?
Pass.
Stephanie Myers, best known for writing which romance fantasy series?
Oh, dude. I have no idea. Pass.
What country released the world's first Christmas postage stamp?
The United States?
No.
Finland?
No.
England?
No. What does the internet abbreviation AFK stand for?
Oh,
no.
All 4... Kraken. I don't know.
No. Which continent would you find Morocco in?
Asia?
No.
South America?
No.
Africa?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the dominant fruit flavoring in the alcohol Southern Comfort?
Peach?
Yeah. And TJ comes up in the end with the deuce. So.
Oh, really? He did drop a deuce on that.
He did.
Oh, boy.
But, I mean, like we were talking about, Steve was not good earlier. Yeah. So maybe he'll be worse now.
All right.
And but like he already said, he's already a winner. So
We'll have to see, won't we? Won't we?
Steve, you're back. Are you ready?
Release the Kraken.
What kind of animal is Filbert in the animated show Rocko's Modern Life?
An elephant?
No.
Bert, he's an anteater.
No. Wow.
Thank you for that.
He's a monkey.
No.
I don't even know what the show is.
What group released the landmark 1966 album Pet Sounds?
The Beach Boys.
Yes. Stephanie Myers, best known for writing which romance fantasy series?
Of Twilight?
Yes. What country what country released the world's first Christmas postage stamp?
Country. America.
No.
Russia.
No.
Canada.
Yes. What does the internet abbreviation AFK stand for? What does the internet abbreviation AFK stand for?
Away from Kevin.
No.
Good old Kevin.
Adios, friend. Knucklehead.
No.
Adios, friend Knucklehead.
Pass.
What continent would you
As far
find?
as I know.
No. What continent would you find Morocco in?
Europe.
No. And Steve, wow, you got 3 correct. And you win 3-2.
Wow, TJ, you were so
You're
close. Wow.
So far.
Close. All right, sorry, buddy.
That seems like it would be a fine
Very disappointed.
hockey score right there, though.
It's typical hockey score.
Very disappointed.
I know there were some of these questions that I didn't think would be that hard, and yet they turned out to be. First off, I know Danny knew it because of his disappointed sound in Steve. The animal that Filbert was in the show Rocko's Modern Life.
The turtle.
He's a turtle.
I like turtles.
Damn it,
too.
I should have just guessed that.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially since we're selling Ride the Turtle shirts at the Rock Shop, right, BJ?
Oh, yeah, sure we are. Yeah.
And then I thought AFK was an easy one.
You were close, Steve, because you did say away from.
Keyboard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn it. It is an easy one. I just couldn't think of it.
You're just focusing on Kevin for some poor reason.
Poor Kevin. Just want to say goodbye to him.
Bye, Kevin. And then the another one that you did not get, one of the few that TJ did, it's Africa that you would find Morocco in.
I always guess Africa, and for some reason I was like, it's not going to be Africa. And so I just went with something
you
else.
should have guessed this.
And it was.
Yeah.
But you still won, so congratulations.
Yeah. And I also like Kevin's AFK, which is always for Kraken. I felt
Yeah,
like
he said that too, so.
he should have got a point for that, and it should have been a tie.
That's pretty cool.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not how we do that here.
I feel like it should be.
We have to maintain the integrity of this fine game, BJ.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. There's integrity in here. I forgot about that.
So someone tweeted, and it seems, I'm noticing this on Twitter a lot from whenever like information's coming about, but the potential of the Kraken. Some people are just saying this is annoying that the pics are getting leaked from Jay on our Twitter page, and it's like I understand. Like it's funny how like I think some people are mad that the information's coming out before the big expansion draft show at 5:00. I'm okay with it. Like, I'm still going to enjoy the draft special. I like knowing that we don't have to wait all day until we find out who's going to be on the team. It's like giving us a little bit of a taste as it goes along.
It really is the way the world is right now. Spoilers and non-spoilers. No doubt about it. I mean, because what do people always ask anybody they talk to if they're talking to a movie director, TV director, or a star of anything? Hey, can you tell me what next season's going to be about? I mean, or can you tell me something about the upcoming episode? They always do that. And so there are people that, like you, Steve, love to know this stuff, have it just come out like this, and the whole day's exciting. And then there are people that know, at 5:00, that's when I want to find out for the first time.
Because still, by 5:00, some of these players could be traded. Like, we still don't know all the details. Like, things are going to happen throughout the day. So
so you don't think that it's wrapped up completely?
I don't think so. No, not at all. If it's anything like Vegas, like, there was so much wheeling and dealing throughout that day that you just say, I mean, that's why I joke about it. But, like, don't plan on purchasing a jersey of your favorite player just yet if he gets drafted by Seattle. There's a good chance he could be sent off to someone else for more picks or whatever it may be. They might keep him. We just don't know.
What we're talking about, of course, is tonight is the NHL expansion draft for the Seattle Kraken. And, we're going to have a lot of questions, obviously more so than we thought, as we're going to preview the draft with Kraken TV's play-by-play broadcaster, John Forsland. He's going to be with us at 9:15 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
It looks like we're still waiting on John, who's John Forsland, who's the announcer for the Seattle Kraken. I'm sure he's just running around like crazy right now, but we're trying to track him down.
Oh, that makes sense. It's not like, is something going on today that he might be busy?
Man, I don't know, but I hear something's happening at Gasworks Park, at the Dick's parking lot as well. There's lots of stuff going on, apparently.
Yeah, of course, tonight's the big night. Tonight is the draft night, where it's going to be broadcast on ESPN2 at 5:00, where you're going to know pretty much the entire team. We won't know some of the amateur folks that are going to do this weekend, but obviously you're going to get a good idea of what the team is going to look like, though there's a lot of stuff leaking right now.
Dude, if anyone doesn't want to know, it's funny how some people are getting mad and everyone's like, just stay off Twitter. Like, legitimately, if you do not want to know what's happening and you want to wait until 5:00, and treat it like it's a movie and nothing gets spoiled or a television show, then stay away from the internet, because
that's what I'm going to do. Except I can't stay away from you. But yeah, I will, because I don't really know a lot about these players,
right. So it doesn't really matter.
I remember. Yeah.
Even if I tell you if like this guy got picked up, you're not going to really. Like, until they start playing for the team, I think then you'll start to get familiar with them. But the pomp and circumstance is still going to be there today, with how they pick them. All the luminaries from Seattle, from Marshawn Lynch to Sue Bird to Macklemore to Bobby Wagner, a bunch of Seattle, Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, Jordan Morris from the Sounders. There's going to be a lot of different, sports stars that are going to be out there talking about the players, announcing the players' names, making it official. And also, if it's anything like Vegas, there'll be a lot of wheeling and dealing. So the names that we're hearing on the internet right now might not actually be the players that we're going to have when the team actually comes to fruition in October when the season starts.
Well, the good news is that, you have a good knowledge of the players. So you already told us a couple of folks that their names have come up, and one, that defenseman we got, Adam
Larson. That one seems to be an official announcement. So that one's pretty dang awesome. So and he signed it according to reports, according to ESPN. So I mean, they're not just like some random podcast.
They're actually broadcasting the draft. So.
Right. Sources confirmed to ESPN that Adam Larson was signed to a 4-year deal for $16 million. So $4 million a year is the deal for him. The goalies, they seem like they've been kind of picked out. It doesn't look like it's going to be Carey Price. Max Domi has been a big name. It doesn't look like they went with him, according to some sources. So there's a lot of I wonder what's going on. I wonder what the rationale is and what the thought process is. But they seem to be picking up some big, tough dudes on defense, which I'm starting to like. doesn't that make sense though, Steve? If you can't get a lot of offensive stars who are not going to be given up, why not then get a tough defense to at least stay in games? Oh, absolutely. And there's one that was on my radar that I really like. It's Carson Soucy from Minnesota Wild. He's a big dude, also tough player. And it sounds like, according to reports, that's the guy that they're going with. So I'm like, this is getting more and more awesome. It doesn't look like they're going with like the quote unquote sexy picks, at least as of right now. Like the names, the people that you're like, if he stays healthy, that would be a great pick. It doesn't look like they're going that direction.
Yeah, it looks like they're going for a lot of physicality, at least a couple of the guys you've talked about.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah. Which, look, if that's the strategy, and then it makes you wonder, like, okay, what are they looking at in the amateur draft? I mean, it's like how they want to match up the team, maybe, or it's very interesting to see just how it all comes together.
Absolutely. And it's going to be fun tonight. Like, I don't know if you saw the pictures up on social media, just the stage setup. It looks like it's going to be a rock show, man.
Oh,
big neon Seattle Kraken logos up there. The anchors are hanging.
It's just so surreal to think that we are again, here we are again, really at the forefront of the sports world when over 10 years ago, we were considered one of the worst cities for sports.
Right.
It's just amazing. I mean, what has become because of the Seahawks championship, of course, the the Storm is just always insanely good. And, obviously the Sounders. And I mean, and now the excitement over the Kraken. It is, can't forget the Seawolves. Don't want Rocky to get mad.
Rocky will get very pissed at you.
Yeah. I mean, I want to put the Mariners in there. I would love to. I really would. But
Mariners keep winning, man. They're silently winning games. I don't know if they're silently winning games, but they're winning games.
They are silently winning games. That would be, what a story that would be. Seriously, if all of the pomp and circumstance that surrounded all the sports in Seattle, because the Sounders are getting attention, of course the Kraken get attention, the Seahawks will get attention. What if the Mariners put together this incredible season silently, no one's paying attention?
Right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like, wait, the Mariners are in playoff contention?
Yeah, they really are. I mean, there's no reason to say that they're not. I mean, I know the Astros are a really good team, but still, why not? I mean, that would be so awesome. But this is exciting. I mean, Seattle is like a sports town. It's just really, and hearing about all those Sonics greats that are going to be part of this just makes you think like there's a method to that madness.
You hope with the arena comes eventually an NBA franchise. So he just said, do you guys know that the draft is at Gasworks, right? It's going to be on ESPN2.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been talking about that all morning.
Yeah. By the way, it's going to be at Gasworks. I don't know if you know that, Steve.
And it starts at 5 o'clock on ESPN2. But if you want to watch like the NHL Network before and after, they'll be doing a bunch of pre and post coverage as well.
In other words, if your name is Steve Miggs, you will be on the NHL Network all day.
It's been all day yesterday, all day, and then throughout the weekend. The entry draft starts on Friday, BJ. So then you start finding out like which young players they're going to be adding to their team as well, which is a big part of it. And they might be getting more draft picks from trades and deals that they're working today for the expansion draft. So it's a lot of stuff going down.
Yeah. And this is a good thing. I mean, if they've got anybody on their team that somebody wants to trade away draft picks, of course you're going to say yes. I mean, because this is what teams do when they don't, where they want to be able to stockpile a great system and great young talent.
Oh, it looks like, BJ, we got John on the line. So this is very exciting, BJ. We've been talking about it all morning. It's an exciting day. It's the expansion draft for the Kraken, and the man that's going to be doing the play-by-play for the Kraken on Root Sports joins us now. Please welcome to the show, John Forsland.
Hello, John.
Hey,
welcome
guys.
to
Good morning.
Welcome to Seattle. I mean, I know you've been welcomed by a lot of people, but we're so happy you're here.
We are too, and this was an interesting process because I had never been to Seattle, and through the evaluation process, the interview process for the job, it was all virtual because of the pandemic, but we've been here for 3 days now, and you're right, we feel very welcomed, and what a great day this is going to be.
So have there been places that people are like, you got to go check this out in those 3 days? Have you been able to enjoy being in Seattle?
Yeah, it's overwhelming, right? Because there's so much to see, and everybody's got an opinion, but the people are great. I can tell you that. And obviously, I've been around the block and I've seen it all. And that's the feeling that I get in and outside of the organization. And so I can't wait to start this. This is a new chapter in my career, and I'm very lucky to get this opportunity to mark time with a franchise for really the second time after all the years in Carolina. So, yeah, I'm jacked up. I can't wait to start.
I had forgotten that, John. Yeah, usually somebody is very fortunate to be able to be part of an inaugural situation, and this is going to be number 2 for you?
Yeah, this is go around number 2. So I've been in the game for 37 years. I'm only 23, but I've been in the game for 37 years.
That's the story there.
Yeah, well, I didn't. Hey, listen, math was not a forte at the SAT level, okay? But what happened here is after 30 years with the Hartford/Carolina organization, is a fork in the road. And, I've been involved in the national package over the last 11 years with NBC. And, listen, this thing is a great opportunity at this stage. And I know we're going to have a great group to work with from the hockey staff right on through the players. We'll get the names, all of the names today. We'll have a real group to look at. And then you look at the reach the Kraken are going to have locally and also on a national level with a lot of the initiatives they've already taken on. This is going to be a model franchise. It's going to create a lot of excitement for everyone.
Yeah, John, it's very, very true, the way they've done things so far. And there seems to be something about this area because I said ever since Pete Carroll got here and also Mariner manager Scott Service, the way they run things feels like it was a game changer to how coaching and running franchises used to be run, also the way the front office runs things. And I wondered if that was big in your decision to come here. It's just the idea that there's something about how Seattle sports teams do things that seems to be cutting edge and actually the way it needs to be done.
Well, that's an excellent point. I think when you're new, you have to be aware of your community and you have to understand the legacy that's already out there. And I think the Kraken get all of that. And as an outsider watching all of this, and I'll go all the way back to when I was a kid. I mean, for whatever reason, the vibrancy, back in the day with the Supersonics, I'm going all the way back to the 70s, right? And watching these games with downtown Freddie Brown and Sigma and Gus Williams and all these guys and the Kingdome and the playoff games at the Kingdome. But anyway, you look at the Seahawks and the 12th man. So if you're a sports fan, you get it. You kind of have an idea about the area from the outside. And then as I watched what the Kraken were doing as an organization, as I was making my decision, I was blown away. And I continue to be blown away by, what they stand for. That's really important today because everyone dissects everything, and you got to be strong in your decisions and what you do stand for as an organization, because it's not just about wins and losses. That's very important, obviously, and this team will compete right away. That's a good thing, the way the National Hockey League is set up. But then you have to reach out and you have to make a difference with people, and you pay it forward, and it comes back to you. That's what it's all about.
And John, man, as a lifelong hockey fan, I've been waiting for this moment to finally have a team here in Seattle. It's just like, it's still surreal to me. And then we have like some people on our show that have never been a fan of hockey, but now are interested in getting excited and become a fan of the Kraken. And it's just cool that we're all day one fans together and get to watch this whole thing grow together. I mean, today is just such an awesome day. I mean, it's not even a question. I just wanted to say that because I just think it's cool that we have a hockey team finally. It's just like, it's just so, it's getting more real, and today is like the most real it's ever felt.
Well, today's going to be unbelievable because, guys, what we're going to do is finally get the names. And then when we get names and you start slotting in players and you look at it and you start comparing it to other teams, first of all, in your division, then you really get excited because now you can look at it and there'll be hope, a realistic hope. Right now it's a logo, it's an ideal. There's certain names like Todd Lewicki and Ron Francis and on down. But this is the deal now with Dave Haxtell being named coach, but now he gets a group of players that he can reach out to and talk about the culture and put line combinations together and get a training camp in order. So every step of the way, we're going to have a level of excitement here till we get to opening night. The schedule will come out soon, and we'll actually get dates, and we can circle those dates on our calendar. So yeah, this is an unbelievable historic moment for this area, but also for the National Hockey League.
And then you just, when they put out the unprotected players, you're just like, I don't even know what it would be like for Ron Francis. Like as a fan, like trying to come up with like your wish list, it's just like overwhelming in thinking of like, would this guy be good? Would that guy be good? For you, I mean, obviously you're a lot closer to the team, and there's been names that have been leaked and things are coming out throughout the morning. But has there been certain players that you're just like, man, that would be pretty awesome? Because I think of a guy like, I know you worked over in Carolina, and there's was it Jake Bean? And I'm just like, man, if that's a guy that Seattle could pick up, that would be a force on defense. But are there guys that like you get excited when you see their names were listed as unprotected?
Well, Carolina has a collection of young players that Ronnie drafted, right? So he's got the inside track on all of that, and he has options aside from being there. But when you look at, for me, what I'm looking at here as I see these names coming out is the culture and how they're building it. And for me, they're building it from the goal out. They're building it defensively. That's really important. You know, guys, it's hard to get elite scoring in an expansion draft. You're not going to do that. The top end scorers are all elite players and they're protected. But the guys who are available are excellent players that you can plug in. Vegas has already proven this. And you got to have a strong defensive team. They got to play together. They have to have chemistry. And you have to be tough to play against. So those are all the cliches that are going to be used. And the names that I've seen so far, I'm really excited. I think that's the direction, not that my opinion counts on how to build a team, but you know what? I've watched this over the years, and I really like the direction his staff has taken. Now, I have not seen anybody from the hockey staff because they've been bunkered in some unknown location for days now. And you're right. There's a lot of backroom stuff going on with Ron. You know, he has to make side deals with teams or look at teams, lay off guys, or look further down the road, which none of us know what will happen then. So I think the expansion draft will take the team near or just above the floor of the salary cap, and then ownership kicks in. And you have to have great ownership, and the Kraken do. Vegas does. And because of that, Ron's going to have the ability, it's already been reported, to spend to the top of the cap. So the fans are going to get full value from this team, the best possible option you can have from opening night, you know, moving forward in a league where there's competitive balance. And it's not a pipe dream. You can compete in the NHL as a first-year team, legitimately compete for a playoff spot.
And we're talking to John Forslund, who is, of course, your new play-by-play announcer for the Seattle Kraken on Root Sports. John, it wasn't always that way. Like you said, you've had a great career and you've seen so many expansion drafts. What has changed in the NHL where you can pull off a Vegas Knights, which were, like you said, and you're expecting that the Kraken will be just as competitive? What has changed? Because usually expansion meant, yeah, you were going to be in the cellar for a while.
Yeah, well, you know what's changed? It's a great question. Is the competitive balance. So parity. And Gary Bettman, as commissioner, has kind of laid out this plan over the years. Back in the day when I started in the early 90s in this league, you know, you had great teams, you had 500 teams, and you had awful teams. And you knew if you were in and around an awful team, and at that time I was with Hartford, there was no chance in the early 90s going into Pittsburgh against Mario Lemieux and Ron Francis and the rest of the Penguins. They had to be asleep or out too late or whatever to lose the game. We don't have that today in the National Hockey League. Today, because of the salary cap, because of the point structure where if you get to overtime and you lose the game, you still get a point, whether it be in shootout or overtime. You know, you're in the neighborhood all the time. And because of that, I think of the four major professional sports leagues, you have the best balance among the teams. So what does that translate to? That translates to an excellent expansion opportunity. You know, the other expansion teams were getting cast-offs and players that you were basically committed to 4 or 5 years of losing before you became relevant. So now what Vegas did was off the charts. That's really hard to accomplish, and I'm not saying that this team's going to go to the Stanley Cup final in year one. That would be really something. Yeah. But let's be realistic. Just get in the division, compete. Let's have meaningful games in February and March. Have the fans just looking at a playoff spot realistically, and then get in. Because as Montreal proved this year, if you get in, you can do it. You can go a long way. That's the trick in the NHL. 16 make it out of 32 now. That's hard. It's hard to make the playoffs, but if you do get in, you got a legitimate chance.
Yeah, and boy, it's very exciting. And today at 5:00 on ESPN2, that's when we're going to actually get the official and pomp and circumstances and all the cool stuff about who our Seattle Kraken are going to be looking like. And all season long, John, you're going to be giving us the excitement. Something that we are so happy that we can get to say is John is going to be calling NHL hockey on Root Sports for us here in Seattle. That is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And, you know, a new partner in JT Brown is brand new, coming off his playing career, and he's going to do a great job, you know, on our broadcast. And, again, we're going to earn the trust of the fans. We're going to deliver a top-notch broadcast that everybody can be proud of and a team that we can support here. So I look forward to our relationship here, too, guys. Don't lose my number. We can be friends for a long time.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we love that. John Forslund, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it, buddy.
Okay, guys, take care. Keep up the great work.
You heard it, Steve. First of all, he said we're doing great work, and he recognizes greatness. Okay,
and we're friends.
And, we're friends. That's what he said.
Confirm,
don't lose his number.
Confirm friends. Besties.
So you call him at 3 a.m. just to confirm that. Okay, Steve, give him a little phone call.
I'll text him first.
All right. Well, yeah, you're right. That's really nice. It is time for Listeners on the Loose. This is where you get to pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. We got your calls. We got your texts at 938 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Make your kitchen ready for every summer gathering this Memorial Day with LG and Lowe's. Our exclusive InstaView appliance suite includes ranges with air fry, refrigerators with slow melting craft ice, and an exclusive dishwasher you can only find at Lowe's. Plus, you'll get up to 10% back via a MasterCard prepaid card when you bundle eligible LG products via rebate. Shop Memorial Day savings at Lowe's. Offer valid 3/3 through 5/18 on select LG items only. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details and timing.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show at 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. And Listeners on the Loose, of course, brought to you by the good folks at Spartan Plumbing. And if you want to be on this fine situation, well, you got to follow Steve's rule.
And that's to show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, we're going to have to gong you. And then say goodbye.
Goodbye, old friend.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Well, look who it is, all the way from Russia, or at least Montana anyway. The Rad Russian is back on this fine program.
Well, good morning, boys. Girl, of course.
What's up, Rad? Been a long time. What you got for us?
Well, you know, I always hear about how big of a fan Migs is of the NHL. So
Yes.
Now we get to play a fun little game at all these Kraken games. You get to play Find Red Russian.
But you got season tickets?
Oh, yes, my friend, of course.
Oh, wow.
This is hockey you are talking about.
You've got season tickets, but you're in Montana. How are you going to be at all these games?
Oh, BJ, it's only 7.5 hour drive.
Oh, okay.
And there's only 40 games to go to.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, where was I thinking?
This is worth it. You have to understand. This is, of course, worth it. First hockey team in Seattle. Like you said earlier, this is history in making.
Where are your seats at?
Well, you'll have to find out. You have to
You got me.
Ah, nice.
Thought I was able to get a fast one over the Radical Russian.
Have a good morning, boys, and go Kraken.
Go Kraken.
Go Kraken. That's right. Well, again, 5 o'clock this afternoon, ESPN2. They'll be broadcasting from Seattle as they'll be telling us who the Kraken players are.
It's funny, I did see it according to, because we were wondering about the fish throwing incident that happened yesterday, the quote unquote leaked video of them doing the Pike Place Market thing. They pull out a name out of the fish's mouth. They were filming that. Obviously, that's going to be used for the Gasworks ESPN2 celebration that's going to happen at 5 p.m. And according to reports, the player that came out of that person's mouth is not the player that the Kraken went to. So it does sound like the Kraken were swerving people.
Oh, okay. So they said that they did do 5 takes of that. One of them, which should be the person we picked.
Right, which was the name that came out was a guy on Toronto, Kerfoot. And that doesn't sound like, according to the person that seems to have the inside knowledge on Twitter, the sports reporter, the hockey reporter that's out there on Twitter. I should probably say his name. I forget it, but.
Well, good old Sammy.
Sammy. Yeah, that actually is his name. It's Sammy. The sports reporter.
Sammy Pucker. Yeah. Sammy Puck Stops Here. That's his name.
Sammy Puck Stops Here. That's also his full name. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Or Frank Saravelli.
Hey, Frankie.
Saravelli.
How you doing, Frankie?
It is funny seeing all these hockey reporters everyone's posting their obligatory picture of the Space Needle saying, "I'm in Seattle."
Oh, yeah, of course. You're going to see that. And, of course, they had to throw a fish. That was the first time a fish has ever had, a secret message that I remember.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
At least I never bothered to check inside the mouth if it would give us information about stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It is Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
So I have an issue with my sister. We've been arguing about it. It seems like all she likes to date are married guys. And I was wondering if this is a thing for women. Do women like to just date married dudes?
Yeah, at some point, you gotta. Yeah, I mean, I guess from a moral situation, if we are going to apply any type of rules and regs, she just doesn't recognize marriage as being anything or monogamy or something.
Care. Yeah,
yeah,
or finds it hot. Yeah, I've watched too many thumbnails.
Well, yes. A woman who likes going after married guys is a woman who is in desperate need of therapy, because there's only two reasons I think a woman would do it. One, to make herself feel better, like, haha, I got someone who is unattainable, look how great I am. Or they're wanting somebody that they can have one foot out the door with. Like, oh, it's like if I leave you or if I get rejected by you, I'm not going to feel too bad because this was not a good situation in the first place.
Or number 3, they're married too. I knew a girl who was married and only dated married guys.
Well, at least, she's just being consistent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
She wasn't doing anything bad. She was just with a married guy.
Yeah.
Like, she's married, right?
Yeah.
It all balances out that way, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think the T word's a great word. I think therapy is a great idea because...
I thought you said threesome. I was like,
that works too.
It's a great word, DJ.
That's a form of therapy, right?
Yeah, I suppose then you're bringing the husband back into it at least, and or the wife rather, and whoever's involved in this whole thing. Yeah, as a brother, what are you going to do? Your job is to love your sister no matter what. That, I think, is the bottom line, too, because it's really his problem. You can't change people. If your sister's going to do it, your sister's going to do it, but you can just love her for everything that you love her for, and that's just the stuff that she does, and she's got to work that out. I mean, you can't force therapy on her, so... And who knows? It's one of these questions there's so many different kind of relationships now that to some people they feel marriage is so fluid and has so many definitions that, I don't even know anymore. I really don't. I don't know what is supposedly right or wrong anymore.
Because it's right or wrong is just very much what's defined within the couple.
What's consensually agreed upon.
Exactly. So you can be in a polyamorous relationship and you can still cheat on your partner because you can go outside of the rules you guys set in place. Like,
I don't want you hanging out with redheads.
Yes.
That's an interesting rule.
It's an interesting rule. But if you're like, what,
right.
I will accept that as a rule for our relationship. You bang somebody who's a redhead, you just cheated.
Oh, I'm not in relations. I'm just talking about you guys on the show. I don't want any of you hanging out with redheads.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, Rev is kind of a redhead,
Well, he doesn't have hair on his head, so he's exempt.
Yeah. Oh, the hair on his face doesn't count.
From the nose up.
Okay.
I don't want you hanging out with anyone who has red hair from the nose.
I feel like you're
Don't check my nose hairs, people.
What color is your ear hair?
Get away from me.
That's good because...
Hey, how about from the eyebrows up?
Yeah.
Not including.
So we don't have to worry about carpet and drapes is what you're saying. We're in good shape.
Oh, my God. Get away from me, people.
I wasn't asking those questions. That's PJ,
I know, but now if it's
with your pubes.
If it's the nose up, it just makes it a lot easier because again, I know a lot of people that they don't look like they're redheads until you go, oh, hello, Mary. Hello, Mary. How are you? Oh, you are a redhead after all. Wow.
So does anyone else get violently angry with the gratuitous fish throwing clips for every Seattle sports broadcast? It is true. It seems like no matter whenever there's like a Monday night football game or Sunday night or some other sport that's in Seattle, they always have to include the fish throwers.
Usually while they're playing even flow.
Yes, or man in the box.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man in the box seems to be like it's even floor man in the box and Modest Mouse float on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do play that.
Yeah,
for variety.
Yeah, I mean, but they do that probably. We just so sensitive, but they do that for every dumb city they go to, don't they? They find the one thing that we know about the city and just focus on that.
I never noticed it with other cities. I'm sure you were right.
Yeah.
But I never pay attention to it because they're not our city. So just kind of, I would imagine people that don't live in Seattle probably don't even notice or care about the fish throwing that's on television.
And then if you're like a Jacksonville, it's like, well, I don't even know what they tell you because what is that? I don't think that city's really got anything going for it that's like super iconic. So hi, we're in Jacksonville. I don't even know if they've ever even been to Jacksonville. Now that I think about it, when's the last time Monday Night Football or anybody was in Jacksonville?
It's funny you say that, Steve, because before I moved here, I had no idea that the fish throwers were even a thing. I just thought that was just like a funny thing that they threw in like before football games, but I didn't know that was like what Seattle was known for.
Because they don't really talk much about it, they just show it.
Why would you think they were throwing fish every Seattle game then, Danny? I wonder if that's it. I wonder if other people in this country don't know that there's actually a bunch of fish throwers that we have.
You know, it's funny, when my buddy was in town last week, and him and his family were just doing a cross-country, like, road trip thing, which sounded pretty fun, actually, but they stopped in Seattle, so I met up with them. We went and ate at Dick's, but they were like, what's something that we should do while we're still here? And it's always such a... And I was just like, man, I know it's super touristy, but you should go to the Pike Place Market. Like, there's a reason why it's popular. Especially with kids, it's a fun place for people watching. You got the fish throwers, and they were asking, like, hey, is there something we should go check out that, like, symbolizes grunge? And I'm like, no, unfortunately, everything for the most part that had any kind of association with it kind of bummed me out. But like,
well, Mopop is pretty good for that, though. As far as they have some cool Seattle artifacts from that scene.
Not wrong, but I think what they were thinking more of is like, is there a venue or a spot like we could stand in front of that says this is the part of Seattle that gave birth to grunge? And I'm like,
oh right,
there's some recording studios, but they're tucked away in like North Seattle or somewhere.
Yeah.
But like, there's not like that iconic club that you could stand in front of, like in Minnesota is that club that Prince used to play at. I can't remember the name of it, but there's like that one spot. And I was like, yeah, man, sadly, I mean, you could go to this place that was once a really cool club that's now a hotel. I ain't going to take a picture in front of that. And you could tell people it was once a cool club. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that spot.
Yeah, at least so at least there's something that you notice, and they always have the good water scenes because our stadiums are downtown. But you think of like Arizona, I mean, where do they play? In Chandler, I think, where the Cardinals play, which is like in the middle of nowhere.
It is pretty much in the middle of nowhere. When we went there for the Super Bowl, it's like kind of in between the two cool spots of Arizona, but not anywhere near those spots.
I don't think it's Chandler, but it's way out there.
Glendale.
Glendale, thank you. Yep. That's what it is, yeah. And, it's so, in a way, it is frustrating, but at the same time, I think I know what it's like to live in other cities where I've seen my team on, and they really just don't care. There's really nothing really iconic about the city at all. So we got the Space Needle, we got the fish throwers. At least we got something.
So it says Limp Bizkit's from Jacksonville. They should show Limp Bizkit whenever they do that.
Yeah, they should play Rollin' or break stuff maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that explains a lot, actually.
What, dude? You better watch your mouth when it comes to this.
I know. Fred Durst is
fighting words.
He's the king of culture. That man. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
I don't even want to talk to you anymore. Wow. Just gonna look the other way. I don't want to make eye contact with you.
Yeah.
You disgust me.
I did.
Wow.
I know I insulted your God. My apologies. All right. Well, we have a big question that has to be answered. What do Ryan Castle and Saturday Night Live have in common? Well, I'm going to tell you at 9:50 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. And now, the Ryan Castle question of the day.
What do Ryan Castle and Saturday Night Live have in common?
I'm only really on for about a half hour a week.
Yeah.
That and drugs.
Yes, lots of drugs.
Oh, yeah.
This one text says Steve gets really pissed when he sees Pete Davidson on either.
Yeah, that's true.
No love for that guy.
No, especially when he's on you. No.
Yeah, Ryan and I had to have a talk about that.
Yeah,
I'm glad that we were able to see eye to eye.
Yeah.
Pete and I had to have a talk about that, too.
Yeah.
What? Hold on a second, man. I thought you guys weren't talking
Wait
anymore.
a minute. So, turns out...
I call him Peter.
I didn't know this record was set, but Kenan Thompson is the longest-standing cast member on Saturday Night Live ever. He's been on for 18 seasons. I can't believe it's been that long. Wow.
Who was the guy that did the impressions? Not Hartman, but more recently.
Danny
he was
Carvey?
on for a really long time, too.
Jay Farrow?
No.
No, I don't know.
Pete Davidson?
Daryl Hammond?
Yeah. That's Daryl Hammond. Thank you. No, it's Peter.
Yeah.
Peter Davidson.
How about Kenan says, I want to get to 20 seasons, and he's like, look, why should I ever leave? Unless they fire me, I'm not going anywhere.
It's good attitude.
Yeah. Ryan
That's how I am about this job.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. But he does have a 12-pack. Next.
BJ and Migs play of the day.
I wonder if they're going to keep spoiling people throughout the day, and by the time they actually do the draft, we're going to know everybody.
We'll probably know a few because they're going to be making signings, and then when they make those signings, that's basically them saying that's the guy we're going to take from that team.
Wow. Yeah, I'm kind of with the Rev on that. I thought we would, everything would be announced tonight, but I guess not.
Oh, boo-hoo. Today's going to be a fun day. Just enjoy it.
Totally, exactly.
All right, fine. Well,
BJ and Migs. Mornings on The Rock. 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. If I file for bankruptcy, do I have to appear in court? That makes me nervous.
Going to court is never something that's easy to do. However, when you file bankruptcy, you usually only have to attend one hearing at the courthouse. Of course, I'll be there with you. And when you go to court, it's not before the judge. It's actually with the trustee or the trustee's attorney. One of the things that's critical in a bankruptcy is that you give your attorney and the court all of your information. You list all of your assets and all of your creditors. That's what we're trading for your discharge, is your true and honest disclosure of your assets and liabilities. And so the court hearing is just usually about a 5-minute deal where you show up and reaffirm and swear that all the information you've given the court and your attorney is correct.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Make your kitchen ready for every summer gathering this Memorial Day with LG and Lowe's. Our exclusive InstaView appliance suite includes ranges with air fry, refrigerators with slow melting craft ice, and an exclusive dishwasher you can only find at Lowe's. Plus, you'll get up to 10% back via a MasterCard prepaid card when you bundle eligible LG products via rebate. Shop Memorial Day savings at Lowe's. Offer valid 3/3 through 5/18 on select LG items only. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details and timing.